Hi, this is Miss Anders, and these are the Hyperbola Notes Part 2. So we are going to begin by talking about the graph of a hyperbola in standard form. There are actually two different types. So the first graph we are going to talk about is for the horizontal, and the second is for the vertical. Now, these equations are very similar to the equations of the ellipses. They just have one big difference. So we have x minus h squared as the numerator, and then a squared still as the denominator, minus y minus k squared as the numerator over b squared as the denominator equals 1. And then for our vertical, we have y minus k squared over a squared minus x minus h squared over b squared equals 1. So here are a couple things to point out. Instead of a plus sign between both terms, like in ellipses, we have a minus sign for our hyperbolas. Now, when we did ellipses, we changed the denominators for horizontal versus vertical. However, notice here with horizontal versus vertical hyperbolas that we are actually exchanging these numerator terms. See there how we actually changed the sign where x minus h is positive for the horizontal, but then x minus h becomes negative for the vertical. And that's the big difference there. But also see that y minus k is negative for the horizontal, but y minus k is positive for the vertical. But a and b still stay in the same place. So our transverse axis is going to be found by just y equals k. So all you have to do is find k in the equation, and your transverse axis comes from that. And for the vertical, it's x equals h, which makes sense because anytime you have a y equals something, y equals a number, that gives you a horizontal line. And you know that for a horizontal hyperbola, that the transverse axis also has to be horizontal. And same thing for the vertical. Anytime you have x equals something, that gives you a vertical line. Now the conjugate axis is perpendicular to the transverse axis. So from here, we're looking for x equals h and y equals k. So we just flip those. And then finally, the last formula is the formula we use to find our asymptotes. And this is where it gets a little confusing. We mentioned it a little bit briefly yesterday, but here's the actual formula. So it's y equals plus or minus, because there's two asymptotes, b over a times x minus h plus k. Now the only letter that will be left over that you won't have anything to substitute into will be the x. Because eventually, once you substitute numbers into the b, a, h, and k, you will have an equation of a line, since your asymptotes are lines. And then your asymptote for the vertical is y equals plus or minus a over b times x minus h plus k. So we just flip the a over b. Now the next thing we will be doing is we will be graphing hyperbolas. And when we graph the hyperbola, we need to make sure first that the equation is written in standard form, and those are the equations that we have above. We first graph the center, then the vertices, the covertices. We have to use this formula to find the foci because Desmos won't give us the foci. And then we can find the equations for the asymptotes because Desmos won't give that to us either. I mean, we can kind of guess using Desmos, but we can find the exact asymptotes using the formulas that we have here.